Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to ATI's Lunch Break. I'm Sam Arce, also known as Broadway Sam, and I can't tell you, I have been waiting for this interview with Joni Michels, and you know Joni so well. So Joni Michels is an Emmy Award-winning TV host, writer. I'm reading this because I don't want to miss anything. Writer, producer. She's a face and voice familiar to Indianapolis audience for over 20 years.
Is that a way of saying I'm a dinosaur?
No, you're not. No, not a dinosaur. Look, we've talked about this. We've been having so much fun. Joni's a native Hoosier from New Palestine who started sharing her passion for storytelling and love for kids when she hosted the Fox 59 Kids Club before she graduated from IU in Bloomington. So, Joni, we're going to talk all things Joni. We're going to talk about you've been...
Is the audience ready for that?
Yeah, we're just going to dive in. There's just so much here. So, Joni...
I would like to say one thing.
Yeah, tell me.
If you can do live television with kids and animals, you can get through anything.
You can do anything. We've been probably for the last 10, 15 minutes just kind of chatting. And, Joni and I have been social media friends, and this is forever. And that's why I said this has been so exciting for me to do
this.
Yes. And, Joni, I think you are so beloved in our community because you have done so much for the community. You've been around. Tell me, first off, you're excited about your new yet relaunched product. Let's first start off with that.
Yeah. I think my love of the community, I always go back. I had the greatest parents in the world. I don't have them anymore.
I know.
But they taught me really from a young kid, treat others the way you want to be treated.
Yep. Golden
Give
rule.
back to the community. And that was just from a young kid. I had that kind of core value. But when I was at Fox 59 the first time, I was also the community affairs manager. Mm-hmm. So it was a great role to have because in broadcasting, TV, radio, it's really the window to your community. And it's a great way to showcase, things that you're doing, things that you're putting out there. You're talking to the community, finding out needs and values. And that's kind of where local programming should originate from, is, from those kinds of conversations.
What's amazing to me is you graduated from New Pal, you went to IU, and you were working in this medium before you even graduated.
Yes, I was a sophomore. I'm a journalism communications major, but a lot of my friends were doing telecom, and they had these hey, we're writing a commercial, or can you help us with this? Can you write this commercial? Can you be in it? So I'm like, sure. And it was a lot of fun. And so when this brand new station called WXIN, a lot of you will probably remember that.
Remember.
This was before it was Fox.
Right.
WXIN 59. I thought, I could use some extra credit. I'm just going to go in there and see if, I can work there. So I went in, and they kind of look at me like, kid, you're like a sophomore. Do you have any experience? Well, sure I do. So that's the thing. You never know when opportunity is going to knock. So be prepared. If you're not fully prepared, tell them you're prepared.
Right, and ask.
Get prepared.
You
ask.
You
ask. So I don't know. I hounded them for a while, and finally the news director called, and she said, hey, kid, I have overnights in news. Do you want to do that? I'm like, sure.
Why not?
So I did that for a while, and then they started the Fox 59 Kids Club, and they asked me to host it, which I did. And so really from there, that's kind of where I spring rolled. I did that, and like I said, community affairs. And
what a way to start, though.
Yeah.
What a way to start. And you started back then, and look where that went through.
Yeah, and I kind of always had a clear path of what I wanted to do because I loved to write. I always, wanted to be a writer. And it was like, well, I'm doing things though in news, when you cover, like say the red carpet something, you have scripts, you have to write. It's a little more entertainment oriented than straight news, but you're still using those writing skills. And, I think it kind of prepares you for anything. And then from doing radio, which I've also done.
Sure.
Been on a lot of different morning shows and stuff.
Heard you over the years.
I think the good thing, the combination there is that you do learn to think on your feet a lot more. You're not relying really on a teleprompter. So I think you get that conversational style.
Well, that's amazing because we have no
I've always
That's
tried
right.
to have.
We have no teleprompter here, and conversational. It just makes such a difference. So, I want to ask you this question. So, you love to write. Do you keep over the years? Have you kept journals, or is there?
I do.
Yeah.
I do have some journals, and from doing my Indiana Joni show, which I know we haven't talked about yet, we'll get to that, but. My she used to always encourage me to say, you need to write a book.
That's what I was going to ask.
You need to write a book. And I promised her, I said, Mom, I am. And I will write that book for her. And I know she'll look down and she'll be so happy.
Oh, I'm sure she is.
But I am. The book I'm planning to write is going to be in conjunction with the relaunch
of Indiana
Joni.
Good. So. That's where I was going with it because I said, you have such a fun, colorful, experienced journey. That's right. Career. And you've done so much. You've been on red carpets. You've covered the Oscars, Billboard Awards. What are some of the other things? You've been...
Well, I did, when I was with RTV6, I flew in the helicopter every morning. So I did, breaking news and traffic.
Right, that's an
So that was
experience.
my office in the sky. I would go to the heliport downtown, and I didn't go to the station. That was my,
You went right to the
heliport, and then, weather permitting, you're up. And there's a lot going on up there, by the way, for reporters that are in these helicopters, because you're helping your pilot look around, obviously, because when there is news, at the time, you always had the 3 choppers up in the air, so you're always constantly looking to see who's to your right, who's to your left, is somebody above you, is somebody below you. So you're that, and then you're also there's a camera on board. I always said it was like a big video game. So you're kind of spinning this camera around, and the chopper's going around, and if you get dizzy, that job's probably not for you.
So it was just the two of you, the pilot and you?
Yes.
Wow.
And so I did that. I loved that. I love flying though. I always have.
So you love flying, and you also liked jumping out of a perfectly good airplane, didn't you?
Oh, that's what my dad used to say. He's a Korean War vet, and I didn't want to tell him.
You know why he said that? Because that's what anyone. I was in the military, and they would always thank you. And when I was an Army officer, when I went to jump school, but before I went, I did just like you did. I went for a skydiving. A friend who had been in the military said, "I'm taking you." I was down in Florida. He said, "I'm taking you for a jump," and it was a static line jump, so it wasn't a free fall. So the plane pulled the chute, but somebody said, "You're going to jump out of a perfectly good airplane." So that's what they always said. But tell us about it. So you actually have done it many times.
Yeah, I did that. So when I was doing my Indiana Joni show, which was on Fox for years, one of the segments I wanted to do was skydiving, and there's a place called Jerry's Circus down south near Franklin.
Yeah.
And so that's where I went. I did my story. And there's about 2 hours of preparation that you have to go to. I did a tandem jump the first time.
Yes.
So there's
the right way to do it.
Right. 2 hour. It's the only way to do it. So I did the whole 2 hour preparation. So the story, was on that, and then we're up in the air, a little over 2,000 feet, and my instructor's talking to me. I don't know what he was saying at that point because I was like, I'm gonna forget everything they told me. But no, it was great. You're standing on the edge of the plane, and I know I just looked out, and there were all these clouds, fluffy clouds.
I think you were probably higher than 2,000.
I didn't see the gray. So to me, it was just like because when you jump, they tell you, you're supposed it's almost, you're not diving down, but it's more of you put your hands back and you're just jumping out. I thought it was I was jumping into cotton and clouds.
It was amazing,
and
right?
I loved it.
So you were free falling for a while.
Yeah,
you were higher than 2,000.
Yeah, you're right. The first
because a static line is usually 2 to 4, and when you're free falling, it's 8 to 12.
Yeah.
Because you want to ride.
Right, yeah, you want to ride. But it was great. So that was just a great story to do.
And then you did that, and then
I went back, and I wanted
back.
to get certified. Yeah,
and so you're certified. Have you? Is that something?
I went last summer. Was
wow.
I mean, it's
so now you're doing
it. It's not the thing you get to do very often.
No.
But yeah, I mean, I love it. So I don't know. It's things like that. I think when you discover an adventure or something that you like, it makes you investigate it a little more, I guess.
So that's something that you did. Mm-hmm. So you've been, like you said, you covered the Oscars. Mm-hmm. Let me ask you a question, just, for inquiring minds want to know. Who's the most famous person to you that you've met?
Well, for me, it was Clint Eastwood.
Oh,
because
iconic.
My dad and I grew up watching Westerns. I love Westerns.
Yeah.
That's my favorite movie genre. People are like, really? I'm like, yes. I grew up on them with my dad.
And Clint Eastwood
and we
was
watched,
incredible.
and just a huge fan. But I also loved him, in all the Army movies.
Yes.
Too,
yes, the old, yes.
Everything he did, but Pale Rider is one of my favorite movies to this day. But I would say,
because you bonded with your dad. It was your time with him.
Yeah. So meeting, So
what year was that?
That was when. That was actually when he did Pale Rider.
Wow.
And he did win an Oscar for that.
Yeah, he's
he's got several. Yeah. But I know
an incredible man.
But just I don't know what I was expecting. I mean, he was, on the screen, he's like larger than life, but he was just very kind of laid back and gracious. I don't know. So to me, that was a real thrill, And of course, you don't want to go in there. Oh God, Clint, I love you. He's the one, I would say, one interview where I was a little intimidated, or you're a little nervous because I was such a fan. But I will tell you too, when you covered the movie Junket, which I did for a few years, they fly you out there, you screen the movie.
Yep.
And then they have what they call the cattle call, where there's probably 200 reporters, and you have
like this?
Not even 10 minutes, 5 minutes. You walk into the room, you sit down, and then you do your interviews. So you really do need to be prepared.
You have to be really, really well prepared.
Yeah.
You know what the thing that I've learned, and being involved in theater and Broadway, West End, I've met a lot of people that you would consider very famous, and
you have,
and
you have famous friends.
But you know what? They are people. Mm-hmm. I think the advantage that I've had is I treat them that way, not too familiar, and you get to learn. But that's the relationship, and the ones that I'm closest with, because I have that relationship, and it's nice. They're people, and they want that.
Right.
You're right. If you're like, and it is hard. It is hard at times.
Can you sign this? Can you sign that?
Yeah. I mean, there's a method to that at times, because I do meet a lot of people that I've asked. It's how you ask and what, but people want to be respected. But that's neat. So you've gotten to do that. And Billboard, so you've met a lot of people that are musicians. Are there any musicians that you've met over the years that you've really enjoyed, or
a lot of really great ones? I mean, I'm just gonna say John Bon Jovi, one of my I've interviewed him several times.
Great.
He's one of my favorite artists, but also human being.
Yeah.
He gives so much back to his community. He runs the Soul Kitchen.
Yes.
And he's got so many other nonprofits going on, but just a really...
he does give back, yeah.
Really down-to-earth, gracious guy. I will say the first time I interviewed him, I don't know, you guys might not think it's funny, but to me it was one of my first artist interviews. And it's John, and this is back when they were slippery when wet had
right,
been
yes.
out. So we're doing the interview, and we go backstage into the green room to do the interview, and the guys, they don't have shirts on, they've been hot,
Yeah, they're sweaty.
So we kind of sit down, they had couches back there in the green room. So we sit down to do the interview, and John didn't have a shirt on, and which was fine. I mean, everybody was like, oh, he's hot. But our camera guy said, you need to mic him, because I'm not micing him, because he's got a bare chest. He goes, I don't want to I go, all right. So I took the microphone. I said, well, John, we can either put this on your chest hairs, or if you want to just throw a T-shirt on. He goes, oh yeah, I'll just throw a T-shirt on. So I mean, it was,
he was cool.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. But then the friends back at the station were like, oh no, you should have just mic'd his chest hairs. That would have been so much better.
Yeah. Oh my gosh!
But I know he's just always just so nice. And Rod Stewart, another really really gracious, interesting guy. He's all big into soccer, big family guy. To even a lot of songwriters like Melissa Etheridge.
Oh wow!
I love, because she's such a great songwriter.
She is. And storyteller.
And she is.
She's a great songwriter and storyteller.
Another just a great person to interview. But I mean, it's the whole genre. You meet, and it's funny to meet a young pop star like a Justin Timberlake.
Sure.
So when I first met him at the billboards, he really wasn't. He was still with NSYNC, and he hadn't gone out on his own and stuff. So that's always interesting too, when you've interviewed somebody at that time in their career,
and then
you see them later.
A little later, sure.
Yeah.
So tell me about Indiana Joni and your relaunch and how that's evolving.
Yeah, well, when I was at Fox 59, I was doing the morning news show, the original new morning news program. I wanted to go out and just do some great adventure pieces where people could go really discover fun, interesting things to do around our great state. And so it's like, hey, it's going to be the Adventures of Indiana Joni, kind of, going off the, the Harrison Ford. And I love this Tilly hat. Well, see, maybe if I put it, see, now I am Indiana Joni.
Yes.
Can you tell the difference?
Yes. Oh my gosh, I love it.
But so I did. So I started these as what we call packages. The little segments that air during news. They're like little feature packages. So I don't know. I did that for about a year, and I had so many of them. And I thought, we could probably turn this into a TV show. So our news director at the time and our operations manager was like, yeah, they're like, that's a great idea. So it just kind of started from there, put the show together, and it aired for several years on Fox 59 and WTTV4, because at that time they owned both stations. And did that, I would say probably about 10 years we did that. So fast forward to now, I thought, I really love doing that. We won an Emmy for that, by the way.
That's right.
The show.
Congratulations.
Yeah, so that's great. I had a great team of people. Monroe, who works on all of our graphics, which I'm working with him again now because he's doing a lot of the photography for the website. So it's kind of fun, too, to get to work with some of the people that I did with the original of Indiana Joni. But it will be launched on a digital and social media platform, because we all know that's where everybody is.
That's where it is.
Yeah, these days. So, it's going to have on my website and my YouTube channel and all the social media handles. And it's going to be videos of me going out, doing my Indiana Joni thing, bringing you fun adventures. I'll have some classic Indiana Joni on there from stories that, I did, back in the day when I did the TV show. I'm also going to have a section on there, some lifestyle show. I did a lifestyle show for a few years. So there's going to be some lifestyle videos, too, on, fun things like fashion and makeup and hair, and, fun things to do like that. And there's going to be a travel blog.
Mm-hmm.
So when we go joyriding with Joni, it might be a trip to the dunes, or it might be a trip to Brown County. It could be a trip to Madison, Indiana for the regatta. So yeah.
There's so many adventures and so many things that you can do. And you know what? There's a whole new audience. Because you think back, you did this when you started. What year was that you started?
Well, I haven't done Indiana Joni for probably 12 years.
So 12 years. So a lot of those kids back then, like my daughter is an example.
Right.
You know, she's a doctor. She's in her 30s. They can look at this. They were younger then, and you have a whole new demographics, plus the people like us that are like, wow, and you get a chance to introduce things in our great state. We were also talking about other things that you can do there besides sports, but the arts, you know.
Yes, and you're bringing Broadway theater to the backyard.
Yeah, that's right. Broadway in your backyard, ATI. We're here at the Palladium. We just did, as everyone knows, Titanic. We did at the Palladium.
It's amazing.
It's amazing. We have our...
Is Beehive?
Beehive's coming up.
Yes.
We're doing Beehive. We're doing Young Frankenstein. I'm on the artistic committee. We're putting together these shows. We're doing Lucky Stiff. And I'm going to get you to these shows because...
I would love it.
And I'm actually going to be in Lucky Stiff. I'm the Stiff. Did you ever see Weekend at Bernie's, the movies?
Oh, I did. Yeah. I saw both of them.
That's right. So it's a musical in that genre where a person he's killed, but it's a funny genre kind of thing. He's kind of mobbed up, and in this, what happens is in order for his nephew and Jacob Butler, one of the actors that's going to be in it, he plays my nephew. In order for him to inherit the money, he has to take me on this one last jaunt to Monte Carlo, but everyone thinks I'm alive. So, yes, I'm coming out of retirement for this. And then our last show for that season next year is going to be Sunset Boulevard, which actually just won the Tony.
That's right.
Right.
Yes.
In New York. So these are things, you bring that. We have, all this stuff going on, at, the Palladium, all the performing arts, but that's stuff going out.
They are adventures.
That's right. There's so many things going on. You got Gregory Hancock, the Dance Kaleidoscope. There are things downtown, but I see in your show you bringing light to so many people, and I think you bring a spin that people are going to be so excited. So you, I think, young lady, that's what.
Thank you.
No, that's yes. Let me just say something. In this times of our life, and I'm older than her. I'll be 63 next Wednesday, so I'm much older than she is. But when you go and you think about this, Indiana Joni will be able to bring adventures, and then you might, as time goes on, bring adventures outside like you did. You went to
I mean, that's the whole. I think, like I said, I think an adventure is sometimes it doesn't always have to be elaborate or extravagant. Or that far away.
Could be a restaurant, you said?
It could be a restaurant.
Could be in your backyard,
It could be in your own backyard. It could be everything from exploring a museum, whether it's a historic museum, an art museum, a children's museum. We've got wonderful state parks, over 21 state parks here to
Beautiful
explore.
State parks. Yep.
We've got a national park with the Indiana Dunes.
Yep.
We've got several, Great Lakes. A lot of those are in the Northeast.
Yes, they are.
From the glacial experience, but it's just there is so much to do and to discover. Whether you want to keep it low key, like I said, it's a restaurant, or it's a great play, or you're going to the theater, and that's really what I want to do with this.
But you're doing something which I think is what the public is looking for, because like this, although this lunch break is live, we make it recorded, so the median is on demand. Right. And that's what people are wanting. They're like, you know what, I'm going to watch that later when I'm ready. And we've kind of come to that. The pandemic changed things where everybody was binge watching everything. I mean, most shows that I watch now, you know, I find it and I'm like, yeah, I just want to watch it through so I can imagine.
I'm the same way.
Yeah, we've gotten to that point.
We have gotten to that point. I mean, even with the way people watch news
Yep.
these days, they're in for 5 minutes, maybe, and they're gone. Or most people, they're on their phone. They get their new, you know. So there are so many different outlets, and you just have to really kind of push it out there on all of them, and kind of figure out what works for you. But yeah, I'm excited about it. The official launch date, I'm saying, is going to be like early September.
Right.
But I would love to come out and do a feature with you guys.
Absolutely.
On the theater.
We're going to have some adventures.
Great.
I want an adventure.
Maybe we can go backstage and do some theater makeup.
We could.
That would be fun.
We're going to figure some things out. You and I are going to work together, and we're going to have a Broadway Sam,
and
Indiana Joni experience together, and we're going to make this fun. And definitely, when Lucky Stiff comes, we'll definitely plan it, because imagine, you get the inside with the stiff.
I get the inside
with the stiff.
I do.
Yeah. But you know what, Joni? I think what you bring to this community is love, enthusiasm, and I can definitely see that comes from your parents and that.
Well, thank you. I mean, there's also going to be on my website, we're going to have a community site.
Yeah.
Where I'll be reaching out to a lot of different nonprofits so that we can have their logo link to their website and highlight a lot of the fundraisers that they do. So
we'll do that with actors.
Especially
ATI, Actors Theater will do that. Mm-hmm.
So a lot of nonprofits from the animal shelters too.
Good.
I also have a soft spot for veterans.
Yes.
And so I want to do something, in that area as well. And so there's definitely going to be a community site, so a way for maybe fans or people to get involved with that.
So I know it's early because I have already signed on to your website for the launch as it comes, but if you want to share with everyone how they'll be able to find you and
the website will be jonimichels.com.
Okay.
And that's
easy to remember,
jonimichels.com, and then it will be the same for the YouTube channel, for Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and everything, so it will all be integrated, but jonimichels.com will be the hub, the house, and I'll be promoting it too throughout my and this is where it gets weird. So I have my own social media fan page. So I'll be promoting it through that as well to get you over to the Indiana Joni fan page.
Yeah, that's just part of it. Yeah.
And there's also going to be like a deals and discounts area on there. So,
good.
We have just a lot of fun activities that you can find all over central Indiana. Maybe it's tubing on the White River.
Right.
I mean, the white water, tubing out of Noblesville.
Right.
It could be an Indians game. So a lot of different things like that. So look for those discounts and deals.
I love it. What are some of the other fun things that you like doing? I know you have 4 fur babies.
I do. I have... we had 2 they're shelter animals. We adopted
Which are the
them,
best?
Sunny and Lily.
Aww.
They are my life, and if you follow me on Facebook, I know you've seen lots of pictures of them. But when my mom passed, she had 2 dogs, a Labradoodle, and she had a little poodle, and they were both adopted. So now they live with us, and so we have 4 dogs. We have basically 3 small dogs, and then Sophie the Labradoodle is 80 pounds.
Wow.
And she's a senior dog.
Are they all lap dogs, kind of, even though they're...
Sophie the senior dog is 80 pounds, but she still wants to, sit on
Or
bed.
I call them sometimes bed dogs, because they all...
Oh, yeah. They're spoiled rotten. But you know what?
They're your
my fur
babies.
babies.
Yeah,
They're
your babies.
So so I mean, I just I have so much fun with them. But I mean, I just love to. Sometimes I'm an avid reader. I just like to get a good book sometimes and read. But I also enjoy and Kim and Eileen, you know this, they're my ride or dies. Also Amanda and Lolo, I don't want to leave you out. But a lot of times we just go on these great road trips. And that's something I'm pretty adventurous. So I'm always up for a last minute road trip. And a lot of times it's, hey, let's go to Franklin, Indiana, or let's go here, let's go antiquing, or let's, so
Wow.
I love road trips.
You see, and that's why you're Indiana Joni.
Yeah.
Because you have utilized your talents, and going way back, from you graduated in 1988, or from what IU?
Yeah. So it's been I think going back to what you were just saying about I think in life you just want to find if you can find something you're really passionate about. And you can make a living with it. That's amazing. But we don't always, live to work.
That's right.
I mean, so I think, you do have to have those things in your life, some balance. Find things that you enjoy.
I love the words you just said.
You have to balance.
Balance. I learned a long time. I heard this a long time ago, and it's true. I'm in real estate. I'm in theater, but is the true meaning of like job satisfaction is finding something you love to do. Be willing to do it for nothing, then do it so well that somebody's willing to pay you for it.
Right.
Well, I mean, I'm in a fee-for-service, commission-only business. We work hard, but when you find something you love to do, it's not work.
True.
And what you do is you do it so well, and it's the give back, and it has supported you, and
Correct.
you've made a career, and I think sometimes people come out of life where they, I taught for years when I was teaching at the Tucker School of Real Estate. I had 2,000 agents that came out, and every time I said to them, they'd say, "What do you think that was most important to you in your career in real estate?" I said, "It's balance, because it is difficult. It's a constant, ever changing. It's never the same day, and it is balance." And someone always asks me, "How are things going?" I say, "Unbelievable." It covers it either way. And
Right.
we have these ebbs and flows, but I think what you're doing is your give back, and what you're doing and what you're bringing people. That's what my theater is give back.
Right.
It fills my soul. And the things that we do, our passion and our love, so like reading and all these things that we share, because if all we do is just work and to make money.
Yeah, like you said, I think you do have to have that balance. And one of the things I do a lot of school visits with younger kids, and I just can't tell them enough that one of the best adventures you can take is to your library. Because if you find a book will take you anywhere. A book can transport you.
It's a journey.
From here to Morocco, to Paris, to the moon. I mean, reading is so important. And whenever I, especially like talk to, the young elementary kids, I'm like, get to the library, check out those books. I mean, that you'll find a lot of adventures in your local library.
Great advice from Joni. And for me, my advice is, when you see theater, it's my 2-hour vacation. Sometimes I go in, like a good movie, it's I go in with a lot on my mind, a lot of things happening, and in 2 hours, I put that aside. I come out with a solution because I wasn't even thinking about it. So sometimes, yes, a good book. Sometimes you just need to take a break from it. Sometimes I've got to follow that advice. Right? Yeah.
Follow your adventure.
Yeah. That's great. Oh, Joni, anything else that you want to share with the viewers for you that you've got?
Now, I just want to say thank you for having me.
Oh my gosh, this has been the best.
Thank you to Meg Osborne. We've been friends forever.
Yes.
And she said, "Oh, you've got to go on with Sam. You guys will have so much fun."
Thanks, Meg. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, I do too. She's an amazing, wonderful, wonderful person. But no, I am looking forward to the launch of Indiana Joni. I'll definitely come out and do a segment for you.
That's right.
But I just want to say, follow your next adventure, and hopefully I can tag along for the ride.
Absolutely. Well, we look forward, and when you are all launched, and maybe we'll do this again
Yeah.
also when you're fully on, but I look forward to seeing you launch.
Thank you.
And being part of it, and being part of the Indiana Joni
Do we need
team.
to do a theater bow?
Yeah,
I'll
we will. We will. Yes, we will definitely do our theater bow. For
Thank
all
you.
of you, thank you so much for being here at Actors Theater Lunch Break. This has been a great experience today to get to speak with Joni. Just, for me, it's been just such a wonderful time.
Well, it's so good, to finally be able, like you said, we've been social media friends for so long. So
Right.
it's good to actually in person
Yes.
get to chat, get to know each other.
Absolutely.
And it's been a delight. So
It
thank
has
you
been
so
absolutely
much.
delight. So for all of you, thank you for being with us. I want to wish you just have a wonderful, wonderful week. Keep following JoniMichels.com. Follow her.
Thank you.
For us here at Actors Theater of Indiana, our next season is going to kick off with Beehive. You can go to our website at ATI. Hold on, I'm having a...
ATI,
That's
Google
right.
it.
Go to atistage.org, I'm sorry, and if you don't have your season tickets, you can get them. They're still available on sale, but we have Beehive, we have Young Frankenstein, we have Lucky Stiff, and then Sunset Boulevard, and we are putting together for our following season coming up just an incredible season. So we are Broadway in your backyards. We are so excited that you joined us. Thank you, Joni. We really appreciate it.
It's my pleasure. Thank you.
God bless you. And I am just so excited. I'll be praying for you and everything that's going to happen. I know this is going to be so much fun.
Thank you.
And I think everybody's going to be looking forward to the launch.
Have an adventurous day.
That's right. Have an adventurous day. And we are out. See you next week.